Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to speak a little bit about the concat method which we discussed last session. I did not discuss the example that the author has covered in the textbook. So I just saw that example, and one minute thing I just want to point out to you. If you see here in the explanation, the author has two strings. One string by the name string 1 storing save, and string 2 storing the string water. And then the example is string 1 dot concat bracket string 2. So the concatenated string would be save water. Okay, there is no space over here. But going further down, the example or the program that has been covered, carefully see the program. In this program, the author has assigned save space with a space at the end to the object string 1 and water to the object string 2, and then concatenating string 1 with string 2. So in the output, the author is giving text, displaying some text, concatenated string is, and the concatenated string save water, there is a space in between. That is because string 1, while assigning the value to string 1, the author has written save and a space over here. In this diagram also, it is appearing as save with a space. But if we see the two-line explanation, in this two-line explanation, the string save has no space at the end. So when it is concatenated, there is no save space in between. So don't get mixed. Understand that in these two lines, there is a bit, the example is a bit different, and okay, the program, there is a minor difference. Okay, this is the reason to discuss this example. And look at the example below. String 1 plus string 2 are being concatenated using the plus concatenation operator and being assigned to string 4. So a new string is being defined as string 4, which will have string 1 and string 2 together, and then it is being displayed. We start with the new method, the method equals method. The purpose of this equals method is to compare two strings, whether they are exactly the same. And when I say exactly the same, I mean to say the length is same and the characters are also same, the case is also same. Yeah, they are case. Then only you'll be getting the response true, otherwise you'll get the response false. Okay. Along with this, I'll briefly introduce you to the other method we're going to do after this, that is equals ignore case. So this will compare the two strings with, but it will ignore the case. So only as far as if the case is different, it would be okay for this method. So these two examples we are going to do now. Let me demonstrate this to you in BlueJ. I've started BlueJ already. Our project chapter 15 is open. Today I'll do a new example. The methods that I'll teach you today from this string class, I'll do it in a new program. So I'm naming this as string 4. Okay, double click on this icon. We'll get some ready-made code. Press Ctrl A to select it and delete it. Let us start now. I'm defining one string S1 equal to, and I'm storing A plus in it in capital letters. String S2 equal to, again, I'm storing the string A plus in this in capital letters, same. So in one way, manually we can say that these two strings are actually same. Now, what is the need of this method that we are learning? The method name is equals. Okay, now let me tell you, in Java, this would disappoint you. And that's why we need this method. If I write S1 double equal to S2, if I use a double equal to operator, which is actually the operator to compare whether two values are equal or not. Okay, let me tell you, this operator, double equal to operator, would compare whether two S1, the value that S1 has and S2 has are equal or not. But it will work for integer data type. It would work for data type. It would work for all my primitive data types. But it would be this operator would for strings. Yeah, in this case, S1, S2 actually have the same content, but this equal to double equal to operator. I've not used a single equal to assignment operator also. I've used a double equal to operator, with exactly the job of which is to compare whether the values are same or not. But in this case, for this operator, for string data, so I've written S1 double equal to S2 and I'm writing system.out.println. Both strings are same or equal, and in the else part, both strings are not same. Closing the curly braces. For the main method, for the class. Okay, let's compile a program. Close it. Let us execute our program. Both strings are equal. Okay, we're getting the output. Both strings are equal. You will wonder that output is correct. We're getting correct output. Okay, let me change the strings. So in the second string, I'm assigning a hyphen PLUS with LUS letters written in small. Okay, remember, while practicing, you try with this string, S2 as this string. Then you also try with this string. Okay, try it with A plus in small letters completely. Now, this case, currently I've changed S2 to the following thing that you see: A and P capital, remaining letters small. Okay, it should tell us both strings are not equal. That is the output we should. And please see, one minute, we are getting the output. Both strings are not equal. 1 minute. It's a problem. Just wait. I'm expecting that this should not work properly. Let me correct the S2 string back to the capital letters. I'll just change my string. both strings are equal. Okay. And I'm making the change now. Both strings are not equal. This double equal to operator is actually, it appears it is working, but 1 minute, I'm very clear that this operator does not work with string data in Java. Okay, I'm surprised it is working. Just give me a moment. So in this example, we are getting an impression that the equal to operator is working for strings. Okay, so x to x I'm giving computer, to y also I've given computer. They're exactly the same. And my condition, if x equal to y, is going to compare and give me we're getting the output, both strings are equal. And when I make this change, we're getting the output, both strings are not equal. But I just commented that the double equal to operator does not work for strings. And here in this example, we are getting an impression that it's actually working. Let me change my example. Okay, I would change my example. I wouldn't share this example string 4 with you because it's an incorrect example. It would give, don't do it the way we did it in this example using the double equal to operator. In a program, I would want to import from the keyboard. So for this, we will use the scanner class. So we are importing the scanner class. We are going to input 2 strings. So first I'm defining the scanner object. Scanner SC being our object name equal to new scanner. Okay, we use the new keyword and then we call the constructor of scanner class. And in bracket we write system.in. This is how we make the object of scanner class. I'll tell the user to enter the first string or enter the first name. String s1 equal to sc dot next I'm using. I can use next line also. Then I would like the user to input the second string. I did to S2. We have actually entered from the keyboard 2 strings, stored them in S1 and S2. And I'm writing an if command, which I'm saying, I'm not hesitating in committing that this should not work. S1 double equal to S2. Okay, doesn't work in Java. This kind of comparison of strings does not work. To operator using it for comparing strings doesn't work. That's what I'm committing. Over here also. Though in the other earlier example, you might not have been satisfied with my my comment in this regard, but I'm correcting the example. So what change I've done is I've included things from the keyboard. And if double equal to operator is satisfied, we'll give the strings are equal. In the else part, we'll give this message. In the main method error program, compiling this program, closing it. We input, we execute this, right click on it, click on void main, click on OK, enter the first string. The first string I'm giving A plus with A and P capital, remaining letters small. Enter the second string. This also I'm giving it exactly the same way, capital, remaining letters small. And please see the output I'm getting. Both the strings are not equal. This is what I was telling you. Okay, I've exactly given the same input, but then and I should be getting the output. Both the strings are equal. There you are. We're getting the output. Both the strings are not equal. This is what I was telling you, that we cannot compare strings equal to operator. Okay. Now in an earlier program, for some technical reason, okay, that point I would pointing it out to you. That is, we did not do input. We were doing assignment. Okay, and for some technical reason, for some internal reason, very frankly, I don't wish to go into that technicality, that in this case, in this example, where I assigned some computer string with C capital to X and C capital Y, and when I was comparing, I'm getting the output, both are equal. So for some technical reason internal to how Java is storing these strings, it appears to us that this is working, but I had committed that, oh, it's not going to work. Okay, but you got an impression it's working. I'm saying it's not working, but you got the impression it's working. As I said, I don't want to go into that technicality. Why is it working over here? Okay, so you focus on this example of our string 5, where I've actually inputted the two strings from, and I'm comparing them using the double equal to operator, and we are actually saying that even when I entered both the strings same, A plus, exactly the same, it was not working. Okay, let us test it another 2-3 times. Okay, I give the string computer in capital letters first string, the second string also computer in capital letters. Okay, and we're getting the output, both strings are not equal. This is what I was saying right from the beginning. And once again, I'll execute the program. This time I'll actually give separate strings. Enter the first string computer. Enter the second string computer in capital letters. Both strings are not equal. Okay, here in this last execution, we are satisfied they were not same. But earlier on 2 occasions, I actually entered the same string same, but getting the output not equal. So I've confirmed this to you. I hope you are convinced that this is not going to work. It's invalid. It doesn't work. It will not give a syntax, but it does not give proper output. So how do you compare strings? Okay, and accept this for all purposes. Not that, in one of my earlier program it was working. I would say whether you input or you do assignment, this is how you actually compare whether two strings are same or not. If in bracket you write the S1, okay, and then write dot equals, and in bracket you write S2. Okay, one closing bracket for the equals method, another one for the if command. You can even write it like this: S2 dot equals S1. Okay, you compare S1 with S2 or S2 with S1. Same. Okay, so this, you have to actually use the equals method in the string class to compare strings. So I made the change, and now I execute my program again. Okay, enter the first string. I am typing A plus with A and P in capital, remaining letters small. Second string also A plus, and see I'm getting the output, both the strings are equal. Okay, we are getting proper output now. Once again, I shall execute. I'm giving A plus in capital and the second string with A. Notice I'm getting the output, both the strings are not equal. Okay, this is what I was saying right from the beginning, that when it comes to comparing strings, do not compare them using the equal to operator. Okay, this equal to operator, you can use it to compare primitive data. That means you want to compare integers, floating point data, character constants also. Yeah, even it would work for character constants also, characters, but it would not work for strings. You have to compare strings this way. Now we'll just see the example covered by the author on this. The author has done the example in the version that I was doing earlier. Okay, computer with C capital is stored in string 1, computer with C capital is stored in string 2, and then if string 1 dot equals string 2, okay, string 1 dot equals string 2, we get output both strings are equal. Here notice the author has used equals method. पर मैं आपको बता दूं, ये program, this program, even if you do this program using double equal to operator, you will get proper output. Surely, now in this case, string 1 and computer with C capital remaining letter small, so obviously we should get both equal. Even if you make some change and you use the double equal to operator, this program, okay, would work. But again, remember, theoretically and for all other purposes, whenever you're comparing, actually use the equals method. Do not use the double equal to operator. Okay, so you saw in this example of mine where when I'm actually inputting my strings, I'm getting proper, results. Okay, are you convinced? Are you satisfied? You understood? Little bit if you're bothered, earlier it was working, you just ignore that, it was not working as such. I'm not going into the technicality why you got that impression, okay, but just accept the fact that when you're comparing strings, you should use a equals method. Okay, do you once again, if you have some doubts, and once again please see, using double equal to operator, one important thing is I'm inputting the two strings. So this the point which I wanted to make, it was important for me to input the two strings to show you that actually double equal to is not working. So okay, one thing, I've used the double equal to operator again, and I'm heard the two strings from the keyboard. Okay, I enter the first string Ram, and the starting string also Ram in capital letters, but still it tells me not equal. Why? Why is it not giving me a proper answer? Okay, because I've used double equal to operator to compare these two strings, which I shouldn't. This is what I've been trying to tell you right from the beginning. But the way, the two strings I did not input, I assigned them. So the assignment, when I'm assigning some value to S1 and S2 without inputting it from the keyboard, it gives us an impression that the double equal to operator is working. No, don't take that message. That's a wrong impression it is creating. So as I said, for all purposes, when you're comparing two strings, you use the equals method. Now we go a step further. Once again, I'm compiling and executing this program. I enter Ram in capital letters, Ram again in capital letters. Both the strings are equal. I execute the program once again. I give Ram with Ram in capital letters, and then Ram with RAM, R capital remaining letter small. It gives me the output both strings are not equal. This is yes, this is correct. The case is different. Now another I would like to copy this program now. Yeah, this time I'm doing this as a separate program and not continuing it with the same program. So I'm copying this program of mine in a new class, string 6. Okay, double click on it, press Ctrl A and delete the existing code, and click on Ctrl V, paste the earlier copy from program string 5, make the change over here string 6. Now this time I'm using the method equals ignore case, equals with E in small, the next word ignore with I in capital, and case with C capital. So this time this method will actually compare the two strings, but it would ignore the difference in the case. What we mean by this is, you clearly understand. Execute the program now. I'm typing Ram in capital, and the other string I'm typing RAM with R capital AM in small. This time, this method equals ignore case, it tells me that the string, it does not differentiating the string with respect to the case. So equals ignore case will ignore the difference in the case of the two strings. Only if the case is different, it will ignore the rest. Okay, and accordingly give you the answer. I execute the again. I enter one string as Ram and the second string as Rama. Okay, it tells me both the strings are not equal because one of them is Ram and another is Rama. So here actually they are different. But if the two strings you are entering, if there's only case in the case and the contents are same, then this method equals ignore case will, okay. So as you see, Ram I've typed in capital and another next second string Ram I'm typing in small. It tells me they are equal. But remember, okay, kindly while practicing this topic, see that you use the input technique. Okay, yeah. Now going back to assignment, if you tell me, sir, if you use assignment, okay, it is going to work. I'm not saying if you use assignment, it's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going back to my example number 4. You see, we got a bit misled because we were trying to use double equal to operator. So this example where I've assigned computer to X and computer to Y. Okay. Earlier I had assigned A plus with A and P capital. S2 also I had assigned the same string. Now what you do is, while practicing, you try changing it to so and so, A plus in capital or A plus in small. ओके और अब एक और बात बता दूं, ये इक्वल टू को छोड़ ही दीजिए, मैंने कह दिया कि वो यू आर नॉट सपोज टू यूज इक्वल टू फॉर कंपेयरिंग स्ट्रिंग्स, बस उसे छोड़ दीजिए, उसे मत कीजिए. ओके, उसे आप प्रैक्टिस भी मत कीजिएगा क्योंकि वो करने से हमें प्रेशर पड़ रहा है. ओके, वो करेंगे तो आप बोलोगे कि सर आप, मैंने कहा था नहीं चलेगा पर फिर भी चल रहा है, सो इट गिव्स अ रॉन्ग इंप्रेशन. सो हियर यू आर, S1 dot equals S2. I've assigned A plus to S1 and again A, P, LUS in to S2 with A and P capital letters. Compiling this, executing the program, both strings are equal. And if I make this change in the second string, I should get the output equal. Okay, remember the method I've used is equals, and not equals ignore case yet. So both strings are not equal because we know the difference. What's the difference? But now please see this method. If I change it to equals ignore case, for this difference S1 and S2 that we see, we'll still get the output both strings are equal. Because the method we have changed, we have used a method equals ignore case, it tells me both strings are equal. It actually ignores a case. So, while practicing, you try out both methods. I'm writing the other method also over here next to it. If S1 dot equals in bracket S2. So while practicing, if you have made this change in S1 and S2, while practicing, you try equals also and equals ignore case also. Similarly, when you change S2 to something like this or this third thing, any of the changes that you do, try out both the methods, equals method also and equals ignore case also, and observe the output. Well, have you understood the example, please? Let us see the example the author has given on this. Okay, the author has assigned computer in small letters to string 1, computer with COMP letters capital and other letters small to string 2, and then comparing string 1 dot equals ignore case with string 2. Okay, if the condition is satisfied, we give the output both strings are equal, else we give the output both strings are not equal. Now for today, I will not go into the next compare to. Okay, and then there is compare to ignore case because they are a bit technical. I would like to reserve it for discussion in the next lecture of ours. I'll take some simpler methods. So compare to, and the next one, compare to ignore case, which will ignore the case. Okay, both are very much related to each other. We'll discuss them in the next session. I'll take up some other methods today for discussion, like replace method. Before I start this method, any doubts do you have? new class I'm creating, string 7. Control A to select the lines and delete them. We define the main method inside a class. Now, as far as the string is concerned, for this method and the other, you do assignment or you do input, that doesn't matter. For some specific reason, while teaching you that earlier example, I had to input the strings and show it to you for being able to see the proper output. Here it doesn't matter. So I'm defining one string s equal to this is my string. Okay. And now I'm writing system.out.println. In my string s, we want the replace method to replace every occurrence of j with z. So I'm telling replace method that you look out for the letter j, and wherever you find j, you replace it with z. Okay, one closing curly braces for the replace method and the println method. Okay, now as you see, I have assigned Jack and Jill went up the hill, this sentence to the string. If you want to input something from the keyboard, you can do that way also. Okay. Here, I'm not saying that you need to necessarily input. Assignment would do, input would also do, no problem. So notice the letter J of Jack has been replaced with Z, and the letter J of Jill has also been replaced and to Z. So it's a simple method which will change, look out what you want and replace it with the other character. The next method we are doing is substring method. I'm changing my string to a simpler one. I'm just changing my string to compute to just keep it simple. System.out.println. Okay, the method that we are learning is substring. Okay, this method will extract whatever I specify. This is my string computer, and it will remove part of the string and give to me. Substring. Sub means part of the string. So I'm giving to the substring my string, and I'm telling it to extract. Okay, just look at my example. I've written 5 over there. That means I'm telling substring that is from the position 5. Can you tell me position 5 is which letter? Okay, in the chat box, send me your answer. Position 5 is which letter of the word computer? So from letter T onwards, I'll get all the characters. TER is the output we're going to get. Yes, we're going to get the output T. So what it does is it extracts from position 5 till the end all the characters and gives it to me. So I would mention println, so I get to see them in the output. Okay, please see the output now. Last line of output, TER. Let us practice with on this. Now in this case, substring method, I gave in bracket only one parameter, one argument. I repeat, I'm saying substring method, I gave only one argument. So it took that argument as a position, and from that position till the end, it gave me all the characters. Another example I'm doing now. In this, to the substring method, I'm giving position 4, 3, position 3. Okay, can you tell me what is position 3? Which letter is position 3? Okay, so C is in position 0, O is in position 1, M is in position 2, P, letter P is in position 3. Okay, now if I just mention 3, it will give me from P, okay, all the characters right till the end. I'm going to get from P right till the end. But now I write 3, comma 3. Okay, if I would have given only one parameter, if from position 3, it will give me all the characters. But what I did earlier in case of 5, but this time I'm giving one more argument to this method, that is I'm giving 3. That means I'm telling it that from position 3, you give me 3 characters. From position 3, you give me 3 characters. So what is the output we're going to get? PUT, from position 3 characters I said. From position 3, I did not say all characters. So the output would be PUT. Check up the output properly. Just wait, huh? Let me check up the output. Okay. Just excuse me, I've done a small mistake over here in my explanation. This output we get in some other languages. Here in Java, it behaves a bit differently. I'm just correcting, I'm making a change. So I'm saying starting from 3 up to 6, ending at 6. Now starting from 3 is this, 3, 4, 5, 6 is this, the letter E. So I've specified 3 as the starting position and 6 as the ending position. But let me tell you, This, when I specify the end, there's one thing that Java does is it does not end it over there, it ends it one place before that. So actually, we are not going to get the output PUT, we're going to get the, I mentioned 3 comma 6, we'll get the output PUT. We'll not get the output PUT E, we'll get the output PUT. Remember, end is treated as end minus 1. So if I specify end as 6, we actually go to get the character up till position 5. So I specify the beginning, and the beginning is 3 and end. Now I specified end as 6, but I will get 6 minus up to the last character I will get will be at position 6 minus 1, that is 5. Okay, now you tell me, if I want to extract the letter this OMPUT E, chalo, OMPUT E in substring as a starting position, and what I'll be mentioning as an ending position in order to get this output OMPUTE. Write in the chat box. Let me understand whether you understood properly. Okay, let me give you one hint. Last session I taught you when you are counting the position index, you start from 0. Index starts from 0. The first character index position is 0. I'm giving that hint to you. Looking at the correct answer I received from somebody. Okay, the answer would be the output as OMPUTE. I should mention starting position as 1. Okay, starting position 1. Because C, the position index position of C is 0, O is 1. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if I write comma 6, it will actually give me up to 5. So I want it to include 6. So I should be mentioning 1 comma 7 over here. So it would take me till the last character it will give me is position 6. Okay, remember end works like this, that you mention you don't get the last character as that character, you get the end. If end is 7, 7 minus 1, 6 would be the index position of the last character, that is E in this case. In our case it will be E. Have you understood this? So in substring you mentioned the start position and the end position. Remember, end would always be treated as end minus 1. Have you understood the substring method? Any doubts with the replace and the substring methods? The method we're going to learn is again a simple one. Starts with S dot starts with, and I say C. Okay, I'm asking Java to tell me whether my string S, which is computer, actually starting with the letter C. So in this case, we'll get the output true, Boolean value true, because our string S computer, which has computer, is actually starting with the letter C. Okay. Small correction. I'm getting an error over here, as you see. Please note this difference. And what change I'm doing is I'm giving that character C in double quotes. Earlier, I was giving it in single quotes. It was giving an error, and I corrected it to double quotes. Now the error is not there. That means this starts with, okay, when you're checking whether the string S is starting with, you're going to give to it a string value. That means whatever you're going to ask, even if you're asking it to check whether it's starting with the letter C, you put it in double quotes as a string value. Whereas if you notice in the replace method, okay, I'm asking it to look for G. I've given it in single quotes and replaced it with Z. That also was given in single quotes. Do you notice that here I had given J and Z in single quote, that was string constant, whereas here earlier I gave C in single quote, I was getting an error, so I corrected it to double quote. That means you don't have to give a character constant, you have to give a constant. You have to give that character as a string form. Now, what does this mean? Giving the character in double quotes, what does it mean? It actually means that you need not check whether it's starting with one letter. You notice this time I'm saying starts with COMP. So is my string S starting with the letter COMP, first four letters being COMP? Yeah, we can do so in case of starts with. This time also we're going to get true. So I'm actually looking for the first four letters. Now, with respect to this, we would get a thought now. In replace, could we do it? Can we write JA, replace JA with ZB, something like this. So notice I'm getting an error. Now, somebody will do it in single quotes. Character constant should be single letters only. So I'm putting this JA in double quotes and ZB in double quotes. Okay. So notice I'm not getting an error now. I'm telling replace method, you look out for two letters JA together, JA. So it will actually, in this, one small thing, notice my string has J in capital and A in small. So and if I've given it in capital, it will not do the replacement. I should make this change. A small. Now, if I make this, give the replace command like this, would it actually change? It would change JA to ZB, but would it change JI, please? Give me your answer. Would it make the change in JI, which it did earlier? Replace with Z, will it happen this time? No, it would not happen. Only JA will be replaced with ZB. JI will not be replaced. It would look out for JA together. Please see, JA has been replaced by ZB, which I mentioned, but JIL is not disturbed. I'll do one thing. I'll include this as an example also for replace method. But yes, with one difference. Earlier I told replace single character, so I put it in single quote. This time I'm asking you to replace two characters, so I put them in double quotes. If I put it in single quotes, I would get an error because single quotes means character constant and it should have only one character. If it is more than one character, you should put it in double quotes. Coming back to starts with, I've given this as an example to starts with C and then to MP also we did. And now one more example we'll do with respect to starts with. This time I'm writing C in capital and O and M in small. So as you see, the difference is I've given the letter C in capital and O and M in small. This time we'll get the output false. For the last statement, we'll get the output as false. I hope you understood why we got the output false this time. And here we don't have anything like ignore case. In starts with, we don't have any option like ignore case over here. So don't expect that. So we got the output false in this case. Okay, it will check whether my string starts with the specified string. So starts with method checks whether a string starts with the specified string. So our string computer and specified string in one example is C, in the second example it is COM in capital, and in third example is COM. This is the specified string. Now similarly we have ends with also. So let us do this method now, the last method for the day. Ends with. Checks whether our string ends with the specified string. I'll do 3 examples for this also. Notice starts with, the first letter is in small and with, okay, with was in capital. Here ends with W in capital. So we are looking out for whether ends with the letter R. Yes, we get true. Then we are checking whether it ends with the letters TER. This in case also we are going to get true. And then we look out for TER in small letters. This case we should get the output as false. So observe the output for the last 3 lines now. So the output answer we got true for searching for R. This we got the output in case of with respect to searching for TER in capitals, and then again TER in small letters. Have you understood these methods? Some more methods we shall do in the next session. Okay, that is on Monday. Tell me if you have any doubts now about what we have discussed today. stop over here for today. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave. If you have some doubts, you can wait and ask me your doubts. That's all for today. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can wait and ask me your doubt. You can put your doubt to me. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave the meeting, please. Any doubts? Varda, do you have any doubts?